Alright friends, today we are going to take a look at another brand new style from Raquel Welch. This is Cruise Control in the color SS Iced Java, a dark brown with some really subtle highlights. This style has a mostly fully hand-tied cap, and we're going to learn all about her together. Denise. I'm also known as Hey Wig Sister on Instagram and Facebook, and I am partnering with Name Brand Wigs to bring you this review. I am actually showing you all three of the new styles that Raquel Welch recently launched, and this is the second one from that launch I am showing you. Name Brand Wigs is a wonderful online retailer. They carry all the major name brands. I'll put a link in the description box and a coupon code that will save you 30%. And if you're struggling, they want to help. You can email them, support@namebrandwigs.com, send them some inspiration pictures, tell them what you're looking for, and they will do their very best to give you some suggestions that will hopefully make your journey a little easier. Let's take a look at this one from all sides. And I'm going to tell you about my major struggle with this one. Okay, before I share the struggle, I will just share a positive. This has such a, it lays so naturally, like our bio hair would lay. It kind of drapes on the shoulders. It isn't like a perfectly straight, flat, blunt, this is like a long bob. Because of the layers, it kind of just lays on your shoulders and looks just a little messy, which actually is very, very natural. So that is one thing. If you're looking for a wig that nobody's going to know is a wig, that doesn't look so perfect and polished, this could be a great style for that. But my struggle, the very front of this is so heavily knotted, so densely knotted that it just wants to hang in the face. I have played with this and played with this and played with this to try to get it to lay so I could make this review and not hang in my eyes. I tried to get it to get a nice kind of straight part. I've tried to part it everywhere, on the left, on the right, in the center, and it's just so heavily tied on the top that I'm struggling with that. What that tells me, though, is that it's a great wig to customize. I would find the part line that works best for me, usually from left going over to the right, and then I would pluck the part line so that it's not so densely knotted, which will help it to lay on either side of that part. Then I would take a hot comb and I would smooth out just along the part line so that it lays a little bit flatter, because it's going to want to spring back to whatever way it was laying. And then I would take a hot comb and get a little lift in the front, because it does have a lace front, and then it wouldn't hang in my face so much. For me, this is not, I have a fiber right here, it is not a throw and go out of the box wig, not this piece. So one of the challenges, if you will, when you're watching a wig review, your piece may not look exactly the same. All of the front, so let's look inside the cap so I can demonstrate. All of the front, the lace, all of the parting here, all of this, that's all hand tied. So a human being hand tied each individual fiber into those segments or sections. And depending on how they hand tied it, depending on the direction that knot kind of got stuck, that could cause a lot of the trouble that I'm having. Yours may not have any of those issues, and you may not need to do what I would need to do with this piece. I have a video showing how all of the things I just talked about, how to do them all, and I will make sure it's linked below. I don't mind customizing a wig for me, because most wigs aren't perfect for me out of the box. Even if they're perfect for you, it might not be perfect for me. We all have different preferences. Once you do the things that I've just talked about, you're done. You don't have to do them again. So it may be a little work in the beginning for months or even years, depending on how often you wear your wigs, of it being perfect. So don't shy away from wigs that you have to work on. I know we want them to be 100% perfect out of the box. We pay a lot of money for these, but I don't believe that that's realistic at all. So I just tell you what I would do, and I make videos to help you, because someday you're going to need to do something to one of your wigs. This one for me would be one of those wigs. So we've got lace that goes ear tab to ear tab. All of this is parting space. It's called a mono top. We've got soft ear tabs with bendable stays. All of this is hand tied all the way around. So you're going to get really natural movement out of those fibers because they're all tied on a knot as opposed to on a track, like a weft track. We do have some closed wefting on the bottom here. Raquel Welch does that a lot. We have an extended nape and we have Velcro adjusters. So hopefully all of that helped you understand not only the inside of this cap, but some of the struggles that can come with wigs and some ideas to remedy them. Now this piece is considered more of a high density piece. It does have a healthy amount of hair. This is not, in my opinion, a light density piece, but it doesn't have any Permatease because it is hand tied, and so you don't have any volume. There's no poof, there's no Permatease. It's very flat. Cut a bang into this one, which would actually help with all of the things I'm struggling with, to cut a bang into it, and then that way you won't have to worry about the face flopping, and honestly you won't even have to worry that much about where it's parting, because when you have a bang you don't really notice that part. I also think the more you wear this one, it will break in. I think this one is just because it's new, it hasn't broken in, because even the more I do this kind of stuff to it, the more it is helping and it's getting it out of my face. It's probably redirecting those knots a little bit. So doing this with your wigs can really help a lot. Those knots kind of get stuck in one direction, but they can rotate. So doing what I'm doing right now is just encouraging them to do that. This is made with heat-friendly fibers. I love heat-friendly fibers, especially on bob lengths and above, because you're not going to get a lot of friction on this piece, and they're just so realistic feeling and looking. You're not getting like the shine that synthetic wigs can have, so it looks really healthy and really natural. My recommendation, if you're new to wig wearing and you're going to try a heat-friendly piece, I either say get a piece that's short enough so it doesn't rub up on your clothing, or get a straight piece, because those are the easiest to manage, and you're already learning so much. You don't really need to learn how to care for heat-friendly fibers on top of everything else. This one is going to be a piece of cake, in my opinion, to care for. All right, I think we covered everything. I'll just say, the more I play with her, the more I like her. This is a prime example of not every wig is perfect out of the box. Some are. Sometimes you'll get a wig, you'll plop it on your head, you'll maybe run a wide tooth comb through it and go perfect and walk out the door. Sometimes you do need to put a little more effort into that. For me, this one is the effort type piece, but as you can see, it's already doing so much better. So my disadvantage is I try to review these really quickly out of the box so you know what you're going to get, and I don't play with them. So I might need to play with this one a little more and then give you guys an update, because I don't want you to judge this one harshly because of my struggles. They're not permanent struggles at all. And I think this one is going to be fun and cute. Let's talk about color. SS Ice Java. The code for this is RL4/10. This is a dark brown with some light brown highlights. So on the color code chart, which I will link in the description, I have a blog post where I talk about color. The brunettes go from a 2 to a 12. The 2 is the darkest, the 12 is the lightest. A 4 is pretty dark, and in some lighting it's going to look like the darkest brown, but it's not. And then the 10 is actually a medium light brown. So the lightest brown is 12, so we're not at the lightest brown, and the highlights are subtle. Look at how subtle those highlights are. It really brightens it up, especially around the face, and I think this is such a good transition color for someone who is used to dark browns and doesn't wear. You can see just subtly woven throughout, not stripey. For someone who wants to go lighter, maybe I used to color my hair with box color with between a 2 and a 4 so that I could blend the hair fibers better to hide my thinning. So when I first started wearing wigs, I couldn't do highlighted colors. I gravitated toward the dark colors. This color didn't exist when I started wearing wigs. This would have been such a perfect transition color because the highlights are super subtle. They're still a brunette, they're not blonde, and it's really going to help transition you to potentially lighter colors if that's what you want. If not though, it just brightens it up so that it doesn't look black. I love that they've done that. And even though this is rooted, because the base color is a 4 and that's really dark, it doesn't look rooted. It's just that the highlights don't necessarily go all the way up to the root because it's a shadow shade. It's so pretty and such a rich color. The brown is not red, the 4 is not red, it's more of a cool dark brown. So you don't see any red, it's not like a chocolate. I hope that didn't confuse you and that it helped. But let's get outside so you can see it outside. That'll make a difference as well. I really, really hope that you learned something in this video, and I'd like to thank Name Brand Wigs for giving me the opportunity to make it. See you guys soon.
All right, friends, this is going to be hard to show because it's really windy and it's going to blow all around. The sun is, it's starting to go down just a little bit, so you're going to have a little bit of a warmer light than if it were noon in the summer. Lighting is just so critical to how color is displayed. And again, with the face flopping, when it's windy, that's really going to be exacerbated. So I'm just going to do a Tip Tuesday and show you guys how I would fix this one. She's going to be so cute once that gets handled. I'd hate for someone to miss out on this cute style because they can't envision just what a little bit of heat can do. All right, guys, I hope that at least gave you a look at this color. See you soon.
Hey friends, thanks so much for watching. Here are a few videos I think you might enjoy. Go ahead and click on one and watch.